If you think lunar eclipses are proof that the Earth is a globe, you're going to have a hard time learning about the Selenelion eclipse. It's a lunar eclipse that occurs when the Sun and the Moon are both above the horizon. If both celestial bodies can be seen simultaneously during a lunar eclipse, then the Earth's shadow is not the cause of the lunar eclipse.
Ron shot this footage from Chipley, Florida on January 31st, 2018. On that day in Chipley, the moon set at 6:34 and the sun rose at 6:34. So both sun and eclipsed moon were on, or at the very least at, the horizon at the same time. So here's Ron on the Terminator line in Chipley, Florida, and here's his sun, earth, and eclipsed moon in a geometrically straight line in space, 180 degrees apart in the sky, in a perfect syzygy alignment. And Ron is able to experience both sun and eclipsed moon on his horizon because he's actually seeing them in the refracted positions, right? But did you notice that Ron's moon wasn't fully eclipsed? It was in the process of eclipsing, from the top down no less, at the time it set in Chipley. So let's add in the Earth's umbra, which is said to be 2.6 moon diameters wide at the point the moon crosses it, and see how that works in this view. As it turns out, Ron's moon set at 6:34 in Chipley, 52 minutes before peak full moon, which wasn't until 7:26 a.m. Ron's time. So the reason Ron's moon was only in the process of becoming eclipsed when it set is that the actual position of the moon at that time wasn't here, but here. And it's going to take one heck of a lot of dip angle and refraction for Ron to see the moon set from his Terminator line when it's still an hour on the other side of peak full.
Now take a look at this time lapse of this moon, where both the sun, again this is the sunrise, the sun and the moon are both above the horizon. Look at the top portion of the moon, it's darkened. Again, going back, put pause here for a second, going back to this model, top portion should be illuminated of course, and the bottom portion darkened, and you're not getting that. You're getting the exact opposite, okay? Play this again. You understand what's taking place here. So this definitely proves this is not caused by the so-called ball Earth.
The most common explanation of lunar eclipses on a flat Earth is that an unseen celestial body blocks the moon's self-illuminating surface. You know, kinda like a new moon and a solar eclipse? A heliocentric lunar or solar eclipse would cause a three-body problem to begin with. It is physically and scientifically impossible to have more than two bodies of mass orbiting each other in observable reality.
In the 300 plus years since Newton, no one has been able to find such a method. There is no general solution to the three-body problem.
It's called a three-body problem for a reason. The three-body problem also gives the most acceptable theory of gravity of the bending of space-time huge issues. The only applicable visualization of the bending of space-time I can think of is the circular spandex with the weight in the middle. This analogy illustrates how mass influences the fabric of space-time. While two spheres can orbit each other in a stable manner, introducing a third mass complicates the dynamics significantly. And speaking of problems, for those who believe in outer space but then believe in a young Earth, you have what is called a distant starlight problem. If the stars are light years away, it would have taken billions of years for the light to get here. A young Earth needs local stars. You can't have it both ways. You need the Big Bang cosmology for the Big Bang. The scientific absurdities of the globe still continue to amaze me.